Welcome to Paperless Pipeline Training with Exit Real Estate Gallery. We're going to go ahead and get started by opening up a web browser, which you see I have before you on my screen. And we are going to enter exitreg.com into an address bar. When you hit enter, this is the website that you will see. I always start from this web page because if you open up any web browser at Exit Real Estate Gallery in any one of the offices, your home page is going to be the exitreg.com web page. Okay? From here, you can access the toolbox right here and the link to Paperless Pipeline. You select Paperless Pipeline, it's going to take you to the login screen. Okay? You can also achieve the same destination by typing paperlesspipeline.com into an address bar. Okay? Your username, okay, the very first time you ever log into Paperless Pipeline, your username is the email address that is listed on the Exit Real Estate Gallery contact sheet. Now, a lot of new agents will call me frustrated and they'll say, "Hey Nancy, I'm unable to log into the Paperless Pipeline. You don't have me set up." I always ask them what email address they're logging in with, and they'll give me nancysoriano@yahoo.com, nancysoriano@gmail.com. And I explain to them that their email address is always the propertyandjacks.com email. Okay? They must use the email address assigned to you when you sign up with Exit Real Estate Gallery. Okay? Your default password is always the same, ERG123. So your default password for Paperless Pipeline, again, is ERG123. Select Login. When you log in, Paperless Pipeline will open up to what's called their dashboard. Okay? Now, before we get started in the Paperless Pipeline, I want you to think of the Paperless Pipeline as a virtual filing cabinet that you share with the office. If you think about it along those terms every time that you use Paperless Pipeline, the systems will be very easy for you. Okay? Now again, when you open up Paperless Pipeline, you're going to open to your dashboard. The first thing you'll notice is on the right-hand side, you'll see your first name and last initial. If the very first time or any other subsequent time you log into Paperless Pipeline, you see another name, any other name other than your first name and last initial, please immediately select it and sign out. Why? Because you wouldn't want someone to log into your Paperless Pipeline and view your files, your transactions, or load anything on your behalf. So you're going to want to make sure that when you're uploading transactions, you're only uploading them in your own personal Paperless Pipeline. Okay? So you'll notice your first name and last initial. Okay, and you'll also notice that here on the left-hand side, you'll see a bluish gray box with the name Exit Real Estate Gallery in it. That's how you know that you are in our platform. Okay? The very first time you ever log into Paperless Pipeline, we want you to select your name here to the right. Select Personal Profile. You'll see your email address. Enter your current password, which is what? ERG123. Select a new password. Enter it a second time. You're welcome to set up your contact information and other information, your signature if you like. And then select Save Settings. Okay? We want you to immediately update your password. Why? We want you to do this because everyone has the same default login information. It's their email address that's on the contact sheet, and your default password is the same. Okay? I'm not going to change my password. So I selected Cancel. Okay, again, you're going to start on your dashboard page. Okay? You'll also see another tab, Transactions at the top, Tasks, Working Docs, and References. We're going to start on the Dashboard tab. Okay? From the Dashboard tab, again, I want you to think of this as your desktop, as you would with any PC. Okay? This is going to be your shortcut screen. As you start to load transactions into the Paperless Pipeline, information here will automatically populate. Okay? Open Transactions. Of course, it's going to say 0 now when you log in the very first time because you haven't loaded anything. So will these other buttons. But eventually, these will be buttons that you can do things with. Shortcut buttons. Okay? From here, you can add transactions or upload documents or assign documents. Okay? Your Transactions tab is the tab that will house every single transaction from your first transaction to your very last transaction with Exit Real Estate Gallery. They will never disappear. They will always be found in the Transactions tab. Your Tasks tab. We don't show you the tasks function in the first class of Paperless Pipeline. What you need to do as an agent, you don't have to use this function, so you can totally ignore this tab. Your Working Docs tab, and we'll come to this tab and explain it in a little more detail when we go through uploading documents, when we cover uploading documents in Paperless Pipeline. But what the most important thing for you to know about the Working Docs tab is that you see this little number here in the upper right-hand corner of the Working Docs tab? You want to make sure that when you log out of Paperless Pipeline at the end of the day or at the end of whatever task you're completing, you want this to always be 0. Okay, if there is a number here other than 0, there's something additional that you have to do before you log out. Okay, so that's the most important thing to learn about the Working Docs tab, and we'll come back to this tab in more detail when I explain how to upload documents. The Reference tab. The Reference tab is the tab where we load all of our documents and all the information that you need as an Exit Real Estate Gallery agent. Okay, you'll notice that there are headers, bulk mail forms. These are the documents that you need for the bulk mail permit. Scroll down, checklist. Here, all of our individual checklists are listed. Okay, commercial, individual forms, complete packets. Okay, these are all loaded in PDF format and they are editable. So say you want the purchase and sale packet. If you select it, it'll preview here so you can look through it if you like. Open original doc and download the document. Okay, so all of our documents are here. I want to bring special attention to, scroll down, under the Instructions tab, you're going to see importing contacts, domain forwarding. Okay, these are all things that you're prompted to do when you first start. Okay, so instructions are here on the pipeline. In addition to that, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, to the training header. Everything that we are going to go over today in Paperless Pipeline training, you will find in the Paperless Pipeline training handout and in the Paperless Pipeline frequently asked questions. Okay, so I encourage you to, the very first time that you upload a transaction into Pipeline, if you have a question, before you reach out to anyone, one of the staff or myself, please by all means review these documents or of course review this video. Okay, so we will now go back to the Dashboard tab. Okay, for the sake of training, we will say that you have an executed contract in your hands and you represent the buyer. Okay, now remember when I started training I said think of Paperless Pipeline as the virtual filing cabinet that you share with the office. Okay, personal filing cabinet that you share with the office. So if you have a contract, what do you do with it? If you're at home in your personal office, would you walk into your office, walk over to your filing cabinet, open a random drawer, and throw the paperwork inside? Of course not. If you did that, then you'd never be able to find the documents that you need again. All the different forms that you put in at different times would be all mixed up with other transactions. Okay? So what would be your first step? Your first step would probably be to go to wherever you keep your manila file folders, grab one off the shelf, open the manila file, grab a pen, write the name of the customer or the property address on the tab. Okay, stuff your paperwork inside, sing the ABC song, and file your document in the appropriate drawer in the appropriate order. You're going to do the exact same thing, except you're going to do it virtually on Paperless Pipeline. Okay, so the very first thing you have to do is create a transaction or grab that manila file folder. Okay, you can add transaction 2 ways in Paperless Pipeline. First, from the dashboard. On the left-hand side menu, you can select Add Transaction, or you can select Add Transaction here to the right, or from the Transactions tab. Again, Add Transaction to the menu to the left, or to the right of the screen, Add Transaction here. Regardless of which Add Transaction link you select, it will take you to the same place. When you select the Add Transaction link, the Add Transaction window will appear. The first field that you will need to see, is the Location tab. Okay, the Location tab you will not be able to change or it will automatically default to whichever your home office is. Okay? This location section means absolutely nothing to you. It's just a way that we divide the workload in the office. If you are a Mandarin agent, the Mandarin admin reviews your file. If you're an Avondale agent, the Avondale admin reviews your file, and so on. Okay, so that's a field that will not will automatically populate. You won't need to do anything. We'll tab down to the transaction name or property address. Here we want you to type in your property address. Okay, we want the full street address. Now, if you want to enter 123 Main Street, Jacksonville, Florida 32223, by all means, please do so. The only thing that we require is the full street address. Okay. Please remember to include the unit number, apartment number, condo number, suite number, if it's applicable. Okay. If 123 Main Street, for example, was a condo community with 100 condos in it, and you sold one but didn't put the unit number, it would be difficult to differentiate your condo in that same condo complex when another agent sells a home in that same complex. Okay, it's going to tell you that there's a duplicate transaction. So please make sure you put the entire street address, the complete street address, and make sure that includes a unit number, suite number if it's applicable. The next field, the MLS or transaction number. Here we want you to type in the MLS ID. If for some reason your property that you have a contract for does not have an MLS number, examples would be new construction. Sometimes new construction's not on the MLS. For sale by owner. Maybe you have talked a for sale by owner into allowing your customer to purchase the property. Leave it blank. Okay? If your property is not listed on the MLS, leave it blank. If it is listed on the MLS, please include the MLS number. Okay? Very, very important. Status. Okay? Now, when you select the status drop-down menu, there are going to be many statuses for you to choose from. Okay? 98% of the time, you are going to enter either listing or pending. If you're turning in a standard listing packet, you're going to select listing. If you're turning it in a purchase and sale contract, like I did in the training example, where we're turning in a contract and we represent the buyer, we're going to select pending. The other 2% of the time when you won't, if you're doing a commercial property, whether it's a commercial listing or commercial purchase and sale, you're going to want to designate the status as a commercial property. Okay? If you're going to get a referral, okay, then you're going to enter referral. If it's a rental, then you're on to rental. Okay, but most often you're going to use listing or pending. So I'll select pending. The next tab, the closing date. Now this is one that I hear a lot of agents talk about. They'll say, Nancy, I've just had it signed today. How do I know when I'm going to close? And just like I do a new agent orientation, or you heard me say a new agent orientation, please read the contracts or forms in which you're asking your customers to sign. Because had you done so, you would know that your closing date is listed on your purchase and sale contract. Okay? Most often it'll say 30 days to close. You'll put in 45 days to close, 60 days to close. Whatever that number is, we want you to count the days and enter a date here. Okay? Will it change? Probably. But we want the date that you're expected to close when you write the contract. Okay? The next field, more info. This is your free reign to write whatever you like. If you want to put the inspection date, you want to put that Mr. Buyer's birthday is 6/30, so you don't forget. You can do that. This is your free field to type in whatever you want to type, whatever you feel is important. Remember, this is your virtual filing cabinet that you share with the office. This is the only file you need to keep. Use this as you would if it were a physical file. Okay? The next field, when I hit the tab key, you'll notice that it skips over automatic expiration date. Why? Because contracts don't have an automatic expiration date. Okay? So that field is only used for listings. Acceptance date. Okay, a lot of agents will ask me what this is. What is the last date for the last signature on the contract? So if, in this example, we represent the buyer in a purchase and sale contract, we submitted an offer on 6/10 yesterday, and there are two sellers. One seller signed on 6/10. The second seller signed on 6/11. What's your acceptance date? 6/11. Okay? Buyer's name. This one's easy. Mr. Bob Buyer. Seller. Mrs. Susie Seller. There are two. Mrs. Susie Seller and Mr. Sam Seller. Okay? Listing price. Sometimes the listing price and the sales price are exactly the same. The house was listed on the market for $150,000. However, but due to my supreme negotiating skills, I negotiated a sales price of $100,000 for my customer. That typically won't happen in real life, but we'll pretend. Total commission. Okay, in this field, we want you to type in the total buyer's brokerage commission or total broker commission for your side of the transaction. In this example, we represent the buyer. So if this were a standard listing of 6%, okay, 3% to the seller, 3% to the buyer, what would our commission be? 3% to the buyer's agent, $3,000. Okay. Commission summary. I want you to type in here how you came to this numeric value. So if I were typing this, I'd simply type in 3% of purchase price. Okay. Say the commission were 3% plus a $1,000 bonus. You'd simply type this $4,000 and type 3% of purchase price plus a $1,000 bonus. Okay. Lastly, okay, in the electronic world, okay, we don't have keys, right? We have username and passwords, okay? We have permissions, all right? So what we're doing is we're creating a transaction. The last step is to assign ourselves or give ourselves permission to access this transaction. So how do we do that? On assign agents in the field, start typing our name. Find your name. Pick the side of the transaction you're on. Okay. You can also find your name or find another agent. Say I have a team. Okay. It's myself and another agent. I find their office location. Find their name. They're in alphabetical order by last name. I'll pick Mr. Rivera. Find their name. And of course, he's not in here. I'll pick Nancy Soriano. Select which side of the transaction she's on. And as you're selecting agents, along the right-hand side, you're going to see who's assigned. So if for some reason you accidentally select a bunch of other agents, you can simply uncheck them. Now, anyone you assign to the transaction is going to have access to your transaction and documents. So you want to make sure that you only assign the appropriate parties needed. Okay? Transaction is outside co-op. Who is my listings agent? And what is his email address? Say he works for XYZ Realty. Maybe I want to put his telephone number in here. Okay. Then you're going to select Add Transaction when you're all finished. I'm going to select Cancel because I've already created this transaction. When you select Add Transaction, the transaction window will appear. Okay, and it'll look just like this. You'll notice that there aren't any notes or any documents in the transaction, but everything we just typed in is right here. Okay, so back to our example, our analogy. Virtual filing cabinet that you share with the office. What step did we just complete? We pulled that manila file folder off the shelf. We wrote 123 Main Street on the tab, and we entered all of this information. We wrote it all in on the inside flap of that manila file folder. What's the next step? The next step is to add documents to the folder. So if we were at home in our office, we'd grab that executed contract we just had, stuff it inside, and file it away. We're going to do the same thing here, but electronically. So how do we add documents to the transaction? In Paperless Pipeline, there are two ways to add documents to a transaction. Okay? The first way is to have documents that are already in digital format. Okay? Already in digital format. What's digital format? Digital format is, I already have the document saved either on my computer hard drive, on a flash drive, a USB drive, a CD, if you're old school, a floppy disk, okay, a DVD, okay? If it's already on your computer and you can attach it to an email, that's already in digital format. The second way is to email it to your paperless pipeline, okay? I'm going to show you the first way. If your documents that you want to load into your transaction are already in digital format, okay? You simply, over here on the left-hand side of the menu, select Upload Doc. The Upload Doc window will open. Select Click to Upload. Your window browser will open. Locate on your computer where those documents are, where you have saved those documents. Select the document that you want to load. Select Open. Give it a name. Okay. You can leave it as whatever you had it named on your computer. Sometimes when you scan a document, it'll say 0453QXYZ. You're perfectly welcome to leave it as that as well. If I were an agent, also you hear me say it a lot in training, I would name it whatever the document is. I want it to be easy for me to find the document when I need it later. So I would give it a name. The next step is to find or assign a permission category. Okay? When you upload a document into your transaction, just like you had to give yourself permission to view the file, you have to give permission level to this document. Say, for example, you and I are sharing this transaction. I'm the listing agent, you're the buyer's agent. There are some documents that you and I will not share. For example, as the listing agent, I will never share my listing agreement with the buyer's agent. Okay? So, although if we're both in the transaction, we'll both share one transaction, okay? Because both of us will have a contract for 123 Main Street, okay? We'll both share a transaction, but we'll have to assign permission levels to the documents or permission categories to the documents so only the appropriate party can see them, okay? So, on this transaction, I don't want the listing agent to see it. I think it's just a buyer's document, okay? If I want the listing agent to see it, I would select Sales Docs because it's visible to the listing and selling agent. So I'll select Buyer and select Upload. When I do that, when it uploads, the transaction window will appear. New activity always appears in yellow in the paperless pipeline. As you'll scroll down, you'll see that Buyer's Docs. Remember, that's the permission category we gave it. We said the seller's estimated sales expense is a buyer's doc. The seller's estimated sales expense is not, but we're saying this document for the sake of training is a buyer's doc. Okay? We'll show you again. To upload document that is already in digital format, select the Upload Doc link. Select Click to Upload. Browser will appear. Locate the document that you want to load. Select Open. Give it a name. Select the permission category. We'll say, for the sake of training, that this is a document that I want both the buyer and the buyer's agent and the listing agent to see. So I'll select that this is a sale doc. Select Upload. The transaction window will appear. New activity appears in yellow. See? HOA disclosure. This is the seller's estimated sales expense. You'll notice that they have dates here. Just now. This will change as time goes by, so eventually this will have a date. Okay? You'll also notice that there's a little box here to the right of the time frame. It says reviewed. You could try to check it. You can't. We'll go over this in just a little bit when I show you how documents are reviewed in the pipeline by the staff. Okay? So I have shown you how to upload a document to the paperless pipeline if it's already in digital format. The second way to upload documents is to email documents to the pipeline. Okay? Every transaction that you create will be assigned an email address. Okay? So in this example, I am the buyer's agent and I have an executed purchase and sale contract in my hand. I come into any one of the Exit Real Estate Gallery offices and I want to upload this document into the paperless pipeline. How do I do it? Well, I go over to the copy machine. I stick my purchase and sale contract into the copy machine feeder. I hit scanner. I find my name and hit start. That is going to email that document to me. Okay? What I'm going to do is forward that document to this email address. So I'm going to copy this email address. I am then going to scan that document to myself, open up my email. That email is going to come from do not reply at Property and Jacks. I'm going to open it up, see that this is my contract that I want to send. I am going to select forward, paste that email address into that email to line, and I'm going to hit send. I'll show you that one more time. Receive an email that I scan a document to my email, open it up, select forward, paste that email address into the to field, and I'm going to hit send. Okay? Doing that is going to send that document to your paperless pipeline. Now, we just sent those documents to paperless pipeline. Are they in our transaction? No. Why? Because when you when you email documents to the paperless pipeline, it sends them to your working docs folder. It doesn't send them to your transaction. It sends them here. Remember when we were reviewing the tabs at the top, I told you that if there is a number other than 0, that there's an additional step. When you email documents to the email address in the transaction, it emails the documents here. Okay? So you have to log into Pipeline, select your Working Docs tab, select the blue Assign button, and you'll see as I hover over the blue Assign button, it already knows, the pipeline already knows where that document needs to go. Select Assign. Okay? Give the document a name here. Okay? You can leave it as that if you like, and assign it a permission category, and hit Assign Doc. When you select Assign Doc, the transaction window will appear. Remember I said new activity appears in yellow, right? Here it is, just now. You'll also see that the documents that we uploaded directly before now say 3 minutes and 4 minutes ago. Okay. Let's do that one more time. Click on my Working Docs tab, and you'll see that 2 additional documents have come in. If I hover over Assign, it knows exactly where it's going to go. But however, say I just scan the documents and I forward them to my pipeline, but I don't assign them right away. I'm in a hurry. Okay? And I've done it for several different transactions, and I don't know what these documents are. You can simply select the name of the document, and a preview will appear. Okay? So you can see what address it's for. Okay? Or what to name it. Assign, select Assign. Give it a name or leave it as you want. Select a category. I'll give it the sales category. I'm just doing that so that you can see how they look. Select Assign Doc. New activity appears in yellow. You notice that the Working Docs tab still has a number 1. Select the Working Docs tab again. Find the document. Select Assign. Give it a name. Give it a category. And select Assign. Again, new activity appears in yellow. Okay. Now we have shown you how to create a transaction, how to upload documents if the documents are already in digital format, and I've shown you how to email a document to your pipeline. It will go to your Working Docs tab and shown you how to assign those documents to your transaction. Okay. Now what? Okay. So you've uploaded your documents. Now what happens? Okay. Your home office admin reviews documents loaded into the paperless pipeline every business morning as her first point of business. Okay. So every business morning, Monday through Friday, excluding holidays, your home office admin comes into the office, prepares the office, gets it ready for you guys in the morning, makes coffee, turns the lights on, straightens the chairs and the workstations. When she does all of that, she sits down at her desk, and the very first thing that she does is open Paperless Pipeline and reviews the documents that were loaded the day before. Okay? Once your home office admin reviews those documents, she doesn't look at Paperless Pipeline again until the next day. Okay? So, we'll say that you loaded this document on a Wednesday afternoon at 5 p.m. Okay? They're not going to be reviewed on Wednesday by your home office admin because she has left for the day and she reviews documents in the morning. So, Thursday morning, we'll say I'm the admin. I come in the office. I open up my Paperless Pipeline, and you'll see that the administrative Paperless Pipeline looks very similar to yours. Okay? The only thing that's different is we have an additional tab at the top. You'll see that we have a tab called Unreviewed. Okay? Now, if you're a Mandarin admin, the Mandarin admin only sees Mandarin transactions. The Beaches admin only see Beaches. Mine's a little different. I see everything. But the Mandarin admin would only see Mandarin. So when she comes in the morning, and she's going to see all of these documents right here. All right, first thing she's going to do is select a property. She's going to open it up. When she opens it up, she's going to see that this is the first time she has ever reviewed this file. Okay, she's going to see that she has 5 documents to review. She's going to check to see what type of file it is and who you represent. Okay, she's going to add an internal administrative checklist. And she's looking for the purchase and sales checklist rep buyer. She's going to add this to your transaction. And she's going to keep this here, and as she reviews the document, she is going to check off items that you have turned in. So she's going to open and preview each document. She's going to scroll through multiple pages. When she's finished, she's going to check it off and check off the corresponding item. If it's not applicable, for example, the short sale pre-foreclosure, if she reviews your transaction and sees that this is not a short sale, she's going to check that off. Okay? She's going to do this for every single document. She's going to look. She's going to check it off. All right. And this is just for training purposes, so none of my forms are filled out or complete, but we'll pretend that they are. She'll do this for each transaction. She'll scroll through multiple pages, make sure everything is signed. Now, your home office admin is checking not for content, okay? She's not going to tell you if you filled out your offer correctly. How would she know? Okay, she's checking to make sure the documents are executed and the appropriate required fields are filled in, okay? She's only checking for compliance, not for content, okay? So she's going to go through and she's going to check off the items you've turned in. And she is going to, once she is finished, look to the left and see, are there anything that he's missing or she is missing? Okay? She sees that the agent did not turn in a copy of the earnest money receipt. Okay? So what she's going to do is select Note Email, enter subject, and she's going to say, please upload the missing files to make your file complete. Or probably say missing forms or documents. She is going to append and complete items, so there's going to be a little list. I'm going to send this email to myself so that no one gets a funky email and gets confused. She's going to hit send email. When she does that, 2 things are going to happen. 1, the agent is going to receive an email. It's going to appear to come from the property address. It's going to say, whoever your admin is, sent you a note about 123 Main Street. This is the information, and these are the items that are missing. The second thing that it will do is it's going to add, it's going to add a note to the transaction notes and sends email section. So it records it in your email and in your transaction, and also sends you an email. Okay? So that the next time you log into your Paperless Pipeline, you get your message the next day, noon, You're going to open up your transaction, and you're going to see that now you have an administrative checklist to the left. You're also going to see that next to those documents, you're going to see a checkbox with a check mark in it. If the admin sent you an email, it's going to be listed here. Okay. Then you would see that, hey, I'm missing my earnest money receipt. Let me hurry up and add that. I can't believe I forgot that. Select Upload Doc. Find the document. Give it a name and a permission category. And select Upload. Now, if we uploaded this document Friday at noon, when is my admin going to review that? Not until Monday morning. Okay? One more quick thing I want to show you. So I've shown you how to log into Paperless Pipeline and determine that it's your platform that you're in. I've shown you how to change and update your password. I've shown you how to add a transaction. Shown you how to upload documents. And also how to email documents and assign them to your transaction. I've shown you how it's reviewed, how to tell if your document has been reviewed, and how to determine what's missing in your file. Okay. I've shown you where to find all of our documents and forms that you need. Let me also point out in the miscellaneous section, here you will find our certificate of insurance, our W-9. You will need this sometimes when dealing with new construction. Okay. And lots of other information. Okay, you'll find the broker's license number here. Okay. And again, the training docs that will help you with what you learned today. Okay. If you have any questions, during normal business hours, you can ask your home office admin. If it's after hours or on weekends, please by all means give me a call. My telephone number and email address are listed on the contact sheet. Okay. My name is Nancy Soriano. You have a wonderful day, and thank you for attending Paperless Pipeline training.